Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope you are all fine. Our first unit of SST is the Mesopotamian Civilization for grade 6. This year we will start our ancient history. So first unit of SST is Mesopotamian Civilization. Mesopotamian Civilization is the most ancient and the oldest civilization of the world. In order to understand this, we need to understand the dates when it came into existence. For that, we have to understand again the divisions of history. Divisions of history. You see in this picture, I will tell you in detail about the divisions of history. So, prehistory is divided mainly into 6 parts. Not into 6, actually 3, and 3 are subparts. The first part which I am talking about is the Paleolithic Age. You see in the chocolate color, violet color on the top is the Paleolithic Age. It started 2 million years ago and till it was 12,000 years BCE, before Christ era, before the birth of Jesus Christ. During this time, people were just hunters and gatherers. They were staying at a particular place as long as the sources were available. Suppose they will stay at a place when there is food available. As long as food gets exhausted, they leave that place as well. Similarly, the second part is Mesolithic Age. Paleolithic is called Old Stone Age, and similarly Mesolithic Age, second one, is called the Middle Stone Age. During Middle Stone Age, they learned the technique of making the tools from stones. They started making weapons from the stones. It started in 12,000 years BC until 10,000 BC. It was for 2,000 years, Mesolithic Age. Similarly, the third one is Neolithic Age, which is also called New Stone Age. It started in 10,000 BCE and ended in 4,000 BCE. This was the time when they started forming small villages. They started doing small agriculture. They started domesticating the animals, and they invented the wheel, stone wheel as well. The fourth category after New Stone Age is Chalcolithic Age. Chalcolithic Age is also called the Copper Age. This was the age when they discovered copper and started making weapons and tools from the copper only. It started in 3000 BC and ended in 1500 BCE. Actually, this was the time when the civilizations of the world started to emerge. Then there comes the Bronze Age and similarly Iron Age. Let's get back to our topic. So, you can say Mesopotamian civilization started in Chalcolithic Age because Bronze Age is the period of civilization. People started making tools and weapons and they started to live in the villages now. Before this, they were just hunters and gatherers. So Bronze Age gave rise to 4 greatest civilizations of the world. 4 oldest and greatest. The first one was Mesopotamian civilization. It was on the river banks of Euphrates and Tigris. Similarly, the second one, Egyptian civilization. It was on the banks of river Nile. Number third, Nile. As you know, Nile is the longest river of the world. Number 3 is the Chinese civilization. It emerged on the river banks of Honghe and Yangtze. Similarly, the last one, which is our own, is called Indus Valley civilization. It emerged on the river banks of Indus. So, we will study about all these 4 civilizations. The first one, Mesopotamian civilization, is our main topic. We will study in detail about it. So, you must be thinking, why were these civilizations on the banks of rivers? Why were these civilizations on the banks of rivers? First, let me show you on the map Mesopotamian civilization to Indus Valley civilization on the world map. I can tell you, you see, Egyptian civilization is on the northern part of Africa. Similarly, Mesopotamian civilization is in the Middle East. Similarly, Indus Valley civilization is divided between India and Pakistan. It was on the it was on the banks of river Indus, which includes Brahmaputra, Chenab, Jhelum, Ravi, Beas. All these rivers fall in that area only. Similarly, Chinese civilization, you see the red one, this is the Chinese civilization. Blue one is the Indus Valley civilization. Green one is the Mesopotamian civilization, and Egyptian civilization is in yellow color. Similarly, I have taken another timeline which shows the emergence of different civilizations of the world. You see the first one, the most ancient, is the ancient Mesopotamia. It started on the left side of your screen. It started in 3600 BCE. Similarly, the second one in the yellow is the Egyptian civilization, 3200 BCE. Similarly, 2800 BCE, our Indus Valley civilization started. 2400 BCE, then 2000 BCE, Chinese civilization came into existence. These are the four main civilizations through the depiction of timeline. So, why were these civilizations on the banks of rivers? Basically, there were three main reasons. The three main reasons behind the emergence of these civilizations on the banks of river was, first reason was the abundant water. Abundant supply of water for drinking and household work, for domesticating animals, for everything, for agriculture, you can say. So, availability of water makes it easy for them to live at that particular place. Number second is the fertile land. Fertile land. So you must be thinking why the land is fertile around the water. Because when the river floods, whenever the river floods, it carries the silt, it carries the alluvial soil and deposits on the banks of its on its banks, and which makes the land around it very fertile for agriculture. This was the another reason all these civilizations were on the banks of river. Number third, means of transport. Yes, once they started civilization, they started trade and commerce. Once they started trade and commerce, for that they need the means of transport. They were also drawing the carts. They also made the bull carts, camel carts, etc. But the best thing was, the easiest way was the water. They started making small boats and carrying the things, whatever they were trading with other people. They started using water as a means of transport. So Mesopotamian civilization and all the other civilization, these started in ancient, these are the part of ancient history. They started in Bronze Age, that is also called the period of evolution, and four main civilizations came into existence, which are Mesopotamian, Egyptian, Chinese and Indus Valley civilization. These are basic four civilizations. This was just the introduction of this unit. In the further videos, we will talk about the whole Mesopotamian civilization and rest of the civilization as well. I hope you have understood this introduction. Your homework will be tomorrow's homework will be, you will draw a timeline of different civilizations of the world and mark the dates of their emergence. You should mark their dates of emergence, when did they emerge and when they decline. This is important, emergence and decline. You will have to mark it with the colors. Suppose for Indus Valley civilization, you will use the blue color. Similarly, for Egyptian civilization, you will use the red color. And you can take the different colors to mark their emergence and decline. Number 2, second question is, explain the reasons behind the emergence of different civilizations on the banks of rivers. You have to write it in detail. Why these civilizations were emerging on the banks of rivers? What were the reasons? In fact, I told you the reasons, but you have to write them in detail. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have understood this concept. Thank you.